Hi everyone, today is video about hand care. Something I feel is very important to talk about or at least bear in mind, and I thought I raise this subject because we do have this endless hand washing since the lockdown began, and I got into this habit personally, and though I don't sort of drastically wash my hands every every hour, I still take care of that, and all the sanitizing and everything else, and hands always washing. And I got into habit of having cream on my hands all the time. So I just wanted to talk to you about a few products that I find very helpful. Before I do so about hands, I just want to talk about something that is just straightforward out of Boots or Tesco lotion, which helps to maintain overall a very good moisture level all over your body. And when I do hand cream, I do up to my elbows, and elbows always need care. So something we forget about sometimes, and I even insist my son and my husband also do that on the elbows. So creams I purchased, but a couple of words about this lotion. It's Express Hydration. It's not expensive at all, and it lasts forever. It's such a good product. I quite like Nivea generally. I think they're a very good brand. But here, what I find is your favorite perfume. You don't need to buy necessary body cream, all these expensive brands. If you add your little spray of your perfume onto moisturized body when you use this cream, after you use this lotion rather, I find the effect is very good as well. And I use perfume every day for my own just pleasure, really. So I mentioned this. We've got it in each bathroom, and it's a really good, it's ongoing thing, and we've got few in stock at home for use on a daily basis. And it's also good for your feet as well. It's not oily. It's not like some feet cream. Some of these creams are quite oily, so you really have to wear cotton socks straight away. It's something I just use everywhere. But now about hand creams. So some of the products here, I decided to do it in this sort of format rather than turning around and just showing you products, because I just want to talk about it, and you might feel some emotions coming through there. A few things. So when we went into lockdown, I knew what's expected. We are going to use to wash hands more frequently, and so much more frequently than we ever do. Also, these gel sanitizers, the alcoholic gels, they've got alcohol 70%. At least you have to kill bacteria and to kill the germs. So I using that all the time. And if I drive, I always do. Even when we went to the office, I started doing it in February. Actually, on a train, I constantly use it, and I felt effect of that on my skin. Gosh, it's so much nicer now than it used to be, but effect on my skin was quite dramatic. So I purchased a few, and then of course I watched my favorite Miss Cat. I'm sorry I keep mentioning you all the time, but I really like your videos, and they're very sensible. And a couple of things I haven't heard of that she mentioned is one of these creams, Paul and Joe. This is a very good cream. Some of them are more expensive, some of them less, but let's just start. So start with probably least expensive. It's one of these that I use actually all the time. It's almost like must have. It's one of the things I always use. I think it's quite good moisturizing formula. I think they sell it all over the world. You can't go wrong with this. It's quite intensive care, and it's very good for the night. I always put a thick layer, and I rub in, and then I put a thick layer on, and that's how I fall asleep if I use this cream. But now I started using some others. So it's quite good. I think Garnier is a very good brand anyway, and it's quite kind to your skin, and I certainly love using that cream. It's, I don't know, it's £2, £3 maybe, I don't know. You can buy it everywhere. I tried probably most of brands that you can buy in a high street or in supermarket. I don't like this Neutrogena. I think it's supposed to be a good brand, but I just don't like the effect of the glycerin all over. All I feel is like a thick layer of glycerin on my skin. And if you try it, it's quite quite sweet. I don't like that on my hands, so I like it to be nourished, so my skin is soft, but it's not sticky and it's not greasy. So this cream does affect it at a very low price. So that's one of the good ones. I can't say that any of the creams that I have now are bad. They're all good. One of my very favorites, and it is for the night, better for the night because it's quite oily, it's quite greasy. It's called Naturally European brand. It's in that sort of foil metallic tube. It says actually made in England, probably is, and this is rose petal, but there are others. When it's nice rose and it smells like a petal, that's why it's worth buying. Probably slightly more pricey products, because if some of them claim to have a rosy smell, it's almost like some chemical, essence. It doesn't really smell of rose as such. It's a smell of chemicals with the rose sort of a little bit of an accent in there. So this is quite good. It's quite oily. It's very thick. I think consistency is very important as well. You can see it's quite thick. It's good for the night. I use it for the night. It stays probably a little bit longer on your skin than lighter versions. So that's that. The others I found not bad. I probably wouldn't miss them when they finished. I've got 3. There is another one somewhere else in the house, lying around the house. They're everywhere, in the kitchen, in one bathroom, and there's all bathrooms, and downstairs where I sit when I do knitting. I use sometimes just on the top, so wear cream all the time. This is a brand called Find. It's got all the different scents. It's quite pleasant. This one is rose. There is another one is jasmine. I've got another one downstairs. This jasmine is actually lovely. It's absolutely beautiful. It's not sticky. It's not too oily. It's quite good, and it's not expensive. So that's another brand I can recommend. It does a job, and it smells, particularly jasmine. Rose is lovely too, and the other one I can't remember. I think it's orange. So they are quite good to have as well. Another one is, as I mentioned, by recommendation, I found this Paul and Joe is very. It's interesting. It's quite rich when you put it on, but actually, when you squeeze it, it's not very thick. It's not as thick as the other one, but this is quite pleasant cream. It really is lovely. I quite like the scent. It's really light. It's light rose. It's actually this is the rose scent, which I don't mind. It's not the one with the chemical sort of essence flavor. And this is, it says made in Japan. Whether it's true or not, made in Japan. But it's a lovely quality. I would recommend this more than any others. It's just a smaller tube. This is 40. But the quality is exceptional. So I haven't actually used it too much. I used it a few times. It's just I put them everywhere around the house, and I use them all at the same time, I think. The other one is quite is Declare. I think it is Declare called Magnolia Blanc hand and nail cream. Very, very good cream. Very good, and it hasn't got much scent. It's I smell of everything else now, and I think no, it's pretty neutral for and it's much lighter. Consistency is much lighter, spreads easier. It's almost like a borderline lotion, but it's also one of the very, very good ones. I would recommend. And the most expensive and probably my most favorite is that Chanel in the egg sort of form, which is quite thick actually, and I would imagine when it comes to the very end it probably would be difficult to squeeze the rest of it, but the scent is incredible, and I wanted to give you a little bit more information about that cream, so bear with me. It comes with instructions, and which is not instruction, it's just explanation about the actual what it is. So it's a cream. It's a new version of the cream which originally was designed by Mademoiselle Coco Chanel back in 1927. And to meet the expectations of today's woman, Chanel presents a new take on this beauty essential with La Creme Main, now in a different texture, in the rich texture, which is true, it is a rich texture. The rich and enveloping formula offers dedicated care for dry and delicate hands in need of comfort. Its iconic shape is designed like its true handbag accessory. It's so comfortable to wear, to have around in a handbag, so I walk around with it wherever I go. Velvety formula. Its formula contains 2 complementary ingredients derived from flowers emblematic of Chanel: the floral wax of May rose and Iris pallida extract. The floral, I know that they derive that from in a special valley. It's only one place in France somewhere, specifically grown for Chanel, or they might now do it. They might have a sort of special dedicated plantation, I don't know. In grass, that's right. Smooths and softens the skin, forming a protective layer, locks its moisture. Iris pallida extract enhances the cream texture rich with brightening properties. La Creme Main texture rich is also enriched with a shea butter balm concentrated in fatty acids to deeply nourish hands. So, and then that's the main sort of description of that. The scent is exquisite. It really is. I went to see my friend yesterday, and we sort of played with this. And when you put it on, you almost just want to wear it all the time. I would just say it's a little bit too expensive, but it's £45 from Chanel. It's quite. But when I think about ingredients and how much work goes into growing this, extracting these essences, it's probably the price. But you only need very little. It's 50 mils, but the scent that goes on your skin, it's absolutely, and you can, I even put it there, because the smell of rose is absolutely divine. It's so beautiful. Whether it's better in terms of the actual, the result, I don't know. I haven't been using it for too long. It's only been like a week or so. But I probably would be able to tell you more, but it's hard to say as well, because I'm using all the others at the same time around the house. I think I'll probably put it away and probably will just use it when I go out with my handbag. So this is what I wanted to talk about for some time, because every time I use creams I think, oh, that's brilliant, oh, I need to talk about that. Of the cheaper range, it depends on what you want it for. For the daytime, I probably recommend that Find brand, because it's quite a good cream. It really is, and it leaves a really nice scent. For the day, it's not so greasy, but for the night, I would certainly go with this, because that is quite oily. It's like a battery. I think it does a good job. And I tell you what, while being at home, though I'm not of a lazy kind of bunch. I do housework as well. Especially, we didn't have a cleaner. She kind of pulled out for lockdown. Fair enough. She only came back on the 29th, I think it was. And before that, for 2 months, we were sort of sharing housework, and I was doing quite a lot as well. And I think, despite that, even because you use the hand cream all the time, my skin has got so much better. It's so soft now. It's nice. I would just advise use it all the time, but use hand cream all the time, and don't forget about your elbows. All right, so this is it for this weekend. We talk about something else next week. I'm sure there are some purchases that just been arriving, and I will do some more reviews and talk to you about some other stuff. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I see you soon. Bye bye.